Okay, hi guys. I'm not sure that my first appearance on this channel with my face here. I think not. I believe I made a short last year with like some carrot flute I made, but yeah. That was interesting, let's say, but anywho. Yeah, so this video is mostly about starting a video series where I would be honestly just speaking about my daily life, and that would be weekly uploads, I guess. Maybe you'd rather have dailies. Honestly, not really many of you are watching, anyways. But yeah, just let me know what you'd rather have. Probably I would do weeklies with like maybe I would cut the video a bit. Honestly, I'm pretty busy, so I'm not sure how that would go. But yeah, I try to keep you up to date, honestly. So yeah, for the ones who don't really know who I am, and like some of you guys have just been here for my piano videos, right? Yeah, I made some covers for the piano, whether that be existing musics where I made the music sheets directly. For some others, I would just find the sheets on the internet and always credit them in the description because I try to think about young pianists who don't really know how to improvise, how to play pieces just by hearing them, right? Finding the chords and all. And since I've been in this position for the longest time, really, I've been trying to help them out somewhat. I've also uploaded a lot of improvs on this channel. Actually, there's also a ton of them, perhaps like 400, 500 improvs I did not upload. Whether they be because they were too repetitive, not interesting enough, maybe too long also. And I didn't really bother to like replay them, like more structured, I'd say. Yeah, and I also been made some compositions. And yeah, like that was mostly about piano, right? I also studied a lot, sharing with guys League content, like League of Legends, the game, because I've been playing this game forever, honestly. I've been playing it between starting in 2014, really, and I mostly stopped a few months ago because I realized I wasn't really having fun playing it. For those who know, basically I played Olaf and I played top lane, right? And I played Olaf, and basically that's a fighter, right, who's like short range, and basically you have to run at the enemies. But then basically when you hit someone, you regen your life, right? So like you don't want to die in a fighting game, right? So like when you go, you have to go, and then you just hit people until they die or you die, right? There's no really like thinking. For instance, like if you're playing in daily carry, you hit people from afar, and then you like run and hit and run and hit, right? Or you have like characters who like go have a lot of mobility, like Cameo. I love to play her. But yeah, basically I mean, I wasn't really having that much fun playing the guy. So yeah, I just realized I wasn't really having fun playing the game, so that's why I dropped it. Anyways, you never really drop League, you just like stop and play it again sometimes, I guess. Yeah, so there's that. Otherwise, who am I? Well, I'm Jeremy. I'm from Paris. Actually, I bought a flat here a few months ago, for which I have to reimburse 500k in the next 10 years. Yeah, that will be a real thing. Yeah, because like 500k is usually a pretty big deal, right? But yeah. What else? Well, I mean, data scientist intern at Advanced right now. So it's like a ADF subsidiary. It's a subsidiary that deals with the new nuclear and basically making uncarbonated energy. So that's a way to be somewhat sustainable, let's say, because like you have energetical issues at the moment worldwide, and you have two things, right? You have both the yeah, so you both have the climate change issues. Sorry, I just wasn't finding the word there. So basically, like with the temperature rising across the globe, and you also have issues with not having enough fossil fuels, so that you actually don't have the energy to perhaps transport the food we eat in the cities, perhaps also to travel overall. We won't really have means to produce electricity with fossil fuels in the future. And also in general, fossil fuels is the most dense thing, and we need to have energy otherwise, because everything is a machine basically, right? Well, like if you listen to what Jankovic says anyways, because he's like the biggest climate change and carbon influencer out there, right? So yeah, that's also why actually I made a master thesis. Actually I did a master 2 in data science at business school, actually, which had a specialty in data science, postdocs, teachers, and all, like pretty great stuff. Learned a lot there. Mostly started really programming there, so that would be a year and a half ago, right? Worked in Python. I used to actually make a few games in JavaScript on my own time, but that would be mostly like mini games, like making a brick breaker game, which you can find on itch.io actually. If you search J-Blazing Moon on Hitch and you search breakout and exclamation point, and then you could find it. But yeah, I will put it in the description if you're interested. But yeah, that was a really small game, but just small project you do, right? So there was that. That took me like 30 hours. And yeah, what else? So I just finished my master 2 in data science, and I was actually pretty young as compared to my peers. In fact, most people were like 23, 24-year-olds. There were a few who were like 27, 30. So yeah, then you can feel like a bit young, you're like, oh yeah, maybe you're hot shit or something, right? And then I started studying Stanford CS courses, actually in January, starting from January this year of 2023, because actually I had a bachelor in management from ESCP, another like Grande École de Commerce in Paris. And yeah, I felt like I lacked technical skills, right? Because in the end, I want to work in the game industry, honestly. That's where I want to grow, I'd say. I do this like CS courses. So right now I'm studying non-degree classes through SCPD. So that would be Stanford Center for Professional Development. And yeah, basically you can follow classes from the undergraduate programs and graduate programs. Typically you would need some courses that you completed to take the graduate classes. For instance, I'm interested in computer graphics. And so for that, you would need a lot of knowledge in linear algebra, notably. So yeah, but right now I'm doing CS classes. For instance, I took CS106B, which was basically learning about data structures and really like algorithms and really working on somewhat not dense assignments, but still it would take you 20-30 hours each week to complete them. So yeah, that was quite intense, most notably because I was studying my master's of data science at the same time. So yeah, I was doing both of them. You code in C++ in this class. So yeah, that was, well, that's a strongly typed language. So for those who don't know, but who have a little bit of background in programming, for instance, programming Python, the big difference between the two is that in Python, when you declare a variable, you don't have to specify the type of the variable. Let's say you want to say my name equals string Jeremy. Well, in C++, you would have to basically say a string my name equals Jeremy and like semicolon. Whereas if you were just to declare that and initialize the variable in Python, you would just say my name equals Jeremy, and you wouldn't even need to end it with a semicolon, which is a bit weird sometimes when I code in my job, because at my job as a data scientist, I code in Python, and so I would always like code in curly braces and like put semicolons in my code where they shouldn't be, because well, it's Python, so it's not the same syntax. And yeah, that's really weird. Also because I do some web development. Actually, that would be for my father really, because he started doing this hotel thing where basically he had the walls, or like he had the property for a hotel in the 19th in Paris, and he actually bought the brand, let's say, of the old tenant who was exploiting the hotel and making his business and all. And basically, he asked me to do the website, so I'm doing it. Mostly because he helps me pay some, work I need to do after I bought this apartment, because like some walls need to be repainted and all. So yeah, that's the deal we have here at home. So yeah, there's that. And what? Yeah, so when I'm doing his hotel, I'm using flasks, so like JavaScript, right? And again, there you have the semicolon syntax, you have the curly braces. So yeah, that's just a programmer thing, I guess. But yeah, also right now I'm studying CS107. Actually, I'm studying CS107 for a second time, in fact, because between I had CS107 for the first time, which I started in end of March, which ended in early June. But the thing is that I hadn't been that organized throughout my Master of Data Science year, and so I actually worked on my thesis quite late. So yeah, that was my bad, obviously. And so that's the thing where basically I had to choose, kind of, right? Whereas either I was going to fail my Master's of Data Science, or I was failing my class of Stanford, right? So ideally you wouldn't fail any of those, but yeah, that was a situation I was into. And so I was crying a lot, obviously. Every night I would be overworked a lot. You have some people who tell you they work 14 hours a day. Well, yeah, that was it, but honestly, like counting the minutes. And yeah, I think it was more like 12, 13 hours, because then you sleep a bit and you have to prepare food to eat and stuff, right? But like actually 13 hours a day, counting the minutes. So yeah, that was a rough, I'd say. I was crying a lot. I was really depressed as well. But then, I watched some videos which basically told me that when you have times in life where it's really rough for you, where you don't really know how you're going to deal with this emotionally, but you just know you have to put out the work, then you just have to do whatever it takes. So like, I was someone who did a doctorate who was saying that in their videos. And also, obviously, you have this PowerShell thing where you're like, oh yeah, I know the guy because I watched their videos, so they're basically my friend, right? Yeah, which is not a thing. Help. Yeah. So I basically ate a lot of sweets, I guess, but like fruits mostly. I hate eating like candies and stuff, like chocolate bars. I'm more into like pomelos and like bananas, whatever, right? That's more of the kind of things I am into. Also, I don't really eat that many glucides, because like at some point I was with a girl in Berlin in 2022 for my big 2021 and early 2022, where I was living in Berlin with her with my bachelor's, and I put on a lot of weight because Actually, Dr. K, which is another YouTuber I love, he's a psychiatrist, if you don't know him. But basically, he says that, well, actually, it's not he says, because research says, and he states the research. So let's say he says that actually, when you are in a good relationship, it's usually it's a good predictor of having a good relationship to be putting on weight when you are with your significant other. And yeah, so that's what was happening. Also because I felt a bit awkward just going to the gym and like leaving her in the apartment by herself. At some point we went together, but yeah, that was. I'm more of going to the gym guy, but like really working out the sets pretty hard. Where she was more of let's have fun together, which is fine, right? Actually, my current girlfriend is also there. You will maybe see her properly. I just started this series. It's like 10:30 at night right now. I'm supposed to work on a Stanford assignment, which I kind of barely started. You have some bonus points if you had it tonight, so I would probably work for it until like 8 a.m. or something. So yeah, oh yeah, also there's this thing where that was really bad for my mental health actually. What was happening? It was basically that okay, so Stanford is based in California, right? So you have minus 9 hours GMT time difference with Paris. So for instance, if right now it's 10:30 p.m. in France, it means that it's 1:30 p.m. In California. And it also means that if you have a deadline at midnight California, it's a deadline at 9 a.m. Paris. And well, obviously, I try my best to start the assignment as soon as they are due. But yeah, sometimes, you know, like, I'm not sure if it's. I try these days, honestly, like, there are a few assignments actually I submitted on time or even in advance, which was not the case before because I'm working on managing my time better. But yeah, here it hasn't really been the case that well, I guess. So yeah, actually yesterday I slept 13 hours. I went to bed at 7 p.m. and then I woke up at 8:30 a.m. and I was like, oh fuck, I'm late for work, so let's just rush and go. Yeah, that was a pretty long night of sleep, yeah. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, so I'll probably finish really late. But yeah, so I haven't asked my girlfriend. You will see a lot of this rolling back thing, which has sometimes been pointed out to me in the interviews, like, oh, you're a bit out of all over the place and you don't really like structure your thoughts that well, which, you know, like might annoy some of you might like it. That's also how I usually speak to my friends, which I swear I do have some friends. And what I mean, like, some people like it, some people are a bit, I don't understand where you're going from, but that's also fun because then you come back to the subject and you're like, oh yeah, that's where we are going, and yeah, then you laugh or you are depressed, I guess. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, so my girlfriend, I don't really know if she will come up here. Honestly, I really love this girl. She's a person I really enjoy spending my time with, and you know, like, she gave me this, so maybe something will happen in the future. Yeah, so hopefully. But yeah, I'm planning my future with her actually. But yeah, enough of me kind of simping, I guess. Yeah, so I'm going to work a lot on this assignment. Today I'm going to be working for the assignment on generics. So, oh, by the way, this course is in C. Yeah, so basically it's, well, I was going to say the same as C++. Well, not really. C++ is object-oriented, C is procedural, but basically in both you have a main program that you run when you run your program, and you call functions and like usual programming stuff. The interesting thing in C is that you can manage your memory at the byte level. And so, for instance, if you are writing generics, that's really useful. For instance, well, okay. So you have... Okay, actually, I'm not that great with that subject, I guess. I was trying to like start something about explaining the whole architecture of a computer. Then I realized that I'm not even sure how everything works, honestly. I was like, oh yeah, so there are logic gates and yeah, right. Yeah, so basically, what I understand from generics is that you have, you want basically a function that will work with any data type. Because let's say you want to make a function that, let's say, changes. No, it first byte. That wouldn't be a real thing. Okay, or even like increment its value by 1, let's say. So if you have an int, yeah, no, that wouldn't really be a case. I swear there are cases where generics are useful but that's what I'm going to work on. So hopefully, like I could tell you more tomorrow about what's going on with generics and all. But yeah, that's what I understand is mostly that we are manipulating pointers and really data at the byte level. Yeah, so I keep you on track with that. Sorry for the really poor explanation here. Yeah. So what else? Oh yeah, I'm going to have an intern for my video game company that I'm running on the site pretty soon, actually. So that will be a fun thing. Fun fact: how did I get in contact with her? Actually, it's because at EDF I was doing an event for data analysts. Yeah, the data scientist, but you can do whatever. And then the director there, because I won the game over like there were 15 teams, it was pretty fun. It was like a mini game, crunching numbers and all. And the director actually he took a liking with me, so he was like, "Oh yeah, so actually we're trying to make a game teaching both at the internal level, so at EDF internal level, and also at the external level, what we are doing and what's our department. And since you were interested in making games, and you actually do make games, I was wondering, are you interested in maybe like being emailed by the guy who is going to make the thing, and like see how it goes from there?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, definitely, definitely, that's great, that's great news." And basically, I got a call with the guy who was telling me, "Oh yeah, since your company is like pretty recent and you don't really like have a continuous stream of income, you don't have many clients, right? Because honestly, this company, I didn't even make the game yet, right? So like when you make games, you have the income stream only at the end, right? When you ship the game, and then you maybe make a lot of money, maybe you don't. In the game studios problems, I guess. But we are here for the passion, obviously, and also I will sell my apartment, probably. Yeah, so whatever. And yeah, so he told me, yeah, actually that won't be a big thing, but then we talk a lot because he likes playing games as well, so that was a common passion. And he told me, actually my daughter, she's looking for an internship, so I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on you, right? But like, are you down? Like, I was like, oh, sure, and just made me meet with her, and then we talk, and like it's pretty fun, right? Because like I'm waiting so much for the moment where I will have like employees, but more like a second family, really, where like obviously people are not living their lives through their jobs, but I actually my game studio, honestly, down the line, I'm really thinking that it's going to be my life, right? Like it's my life project. It's like everything, right? And I would love so much spending time and working with people who are working in the same thing, and like we love the game, because I interviewed with some video game company I won't name, but who make mobile games, and actually the data analysts are really good at their job, but the games are really bad. You know how mobile games get. And then it's really weird, because you're in this situation where you're really passionate about games, but then the games are kind of trash, like, so like lose all passion for video games, and then you're like, okay, so what's up, right? So like, do I work in the video game industry even though the games are terrible? And you're like, I'd rather not, or I don't know, like I'd rather still in the hope that someday I will work in studios that respect gamers, I guess. But yeah, so actually, respecting gamers, that's a thing we do at my studio. The thing we don't do to respect gamers, actually ship games on time. I was supposed to ship a demo quite a while back, but actually we expanded the scope of the project. Like, every game, every project ever, it starts small, and then you're like, oh yeah, actually it would be pretty fun if it was the best game ever, right? And then you don't ship the game. So yeah. But although, like, yeah, these days I mostly go to work. So like, 9 to 5, 6. Yeah, like 9 to 5, but peer pressure to 6 work shift. Then I come home at like 7:30 basically, and then I work on my Stanford classes. I also didn't mention I am actually studying at Beaux, Paris. So it's like, this drawing school, but it's like, night classes. So that would be on Friday and evenings and Saturday afternoons. That's why I've been posting a bit of traditional art on my Instagram. If you know about it, follow me. If you don't know, XD. Yeah, actually I have way more people following me on Instagram than on YouTube, because I guess piano videos or improvs are like SEO unfriendly to the max, and also I guess maybe it's more interesting to look at posts. I mean, I don't know, like social medias, you have to make shorts and all, right? But yeah, I mean, like, I'm making these videos. If you guys enjoy it, well, obviously you can like, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you can like if you want, but that's up to you. But I would definitely want you to comment to tell me who you are, and like, we could have some like form of discussion like this, over the time. That's something I would absolutely love, because I'm craving for desperately for human interactions, I think. Well, you know how computer science goes, or like if you don't, but basically, yeah, you code in your room forever, and then you're like a dog that does not go out, but like kind of sits there, I guess, and like sometimes you touch grass, but then you don't, unless it's in Minecraft. So yeah. And I really enjoy having these moments. I know, like, in the end, I'm talking myself with myself, like, in this room, and I have this piano actually where I record most of my videos these days for the piano thing. So yeah, I think I will also always end those kind of vlogs, or like me talking with you guys at the camera, because like I play the piano, right? So yeah, that's a thing. And like, also tell me what you think about this format, right? Like, obviously the video is like super long, and like nobody ever is going to watch up to here, maybe except my girlfriend. So hi, Isadora, I love you. Yeah. I mean, at least I have that. So that's great. I'm going to work in a bit, so after I play this song on the piano, I will try to explain briefly what I've done. That will be probably a bit technical, so I will try to be not too thorough in it, although I will probably like Oh yeah, no, I can't. I can't. I just realized. No, I can't. I can't. I was going to explain my solutions and all, but then I just realized it's like Stanford homework and like I have an honor code I have to respect where I have to not share the solutions online ever, basically, because like some other SED students or like even Stanford students could find the videos and then like could get sued. Yeah, so yeah, that would not be best, obviously. And also, like, oh yeah, that's more for legal purposes, let's say that, but it's also like best if like other students can just work through the problems on their own because then they actually learn the stuff, right? It would be the same if you just pass the question in ChatGPT and try to find the code. Then if you get the question asked again, then you really know how to answer it. Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, on this note, I will make a little piano improv for you. I'm not sure what I will do yet, so I will just like pause the videos for like maybe 30 seconds and then try to figure out, do I go for something jazzy? Do I go, yeah, actually I will probably go for something jazzy because it's like quite late. It's probably like 11 p.m. right now. So yeah, and I have other people like neighbors sleeping around, so yeah, I try to not be too loud. That would not be a too long thing. Tell me what you also think about these like piano sessions at the end. I think those will be pretty fun, but yeah. So that was me. So Jeremy, 22 years old, data scientist at the moment at Advanced EDF, studying at Stanford in CS through SCPD, studying at Beaux sometimes, and also running this video game company on the side, I guess, and also occasional web dev in React. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so I found something, so let's try that. So I'm going to play these chords. So these chords are, well, O7s, so D, G 7th, C 7th, and A 7th. And I would just do whatever with the right hand. So let's do this. I hope you like this video. Well, I tried to make somewhat a chill piece this time. So yeah, also let me know if you'd like to have the song of the vlog as another video, so you could listen to it perhaps. I'll probably upload it as another set tonight. But yeah, just let me know, because that would be 2 uploads obviously, so yeah. Maybe I'll still do it. I'm just talking for myself here. But yeah, anyways, have a good night, guys, or a good day, whenever you see it. But I'm just going to work all night probably. But yeah, have a good one and see you next time. Probably tomorrow, maybe the day after. I don't know. See you.